Oh, yeah. Michael Franti. Let's turn this up just a little. Good.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. That's it. You see that at a festival when you get so it's one thing in the studio, but to get everybody moving, and this is the first song, we don't get this often. Yeah.
We still got 5 hours to go.
I know, right? We're going to keep you here a while. I'm telling you, and the first thing, too, when you come out, how's everybody? The man is love personified. You bring that music and this love, and that's a good thing to be known for, brother. But when you come on into a room, everybody just feels better in the heart.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Good stuff. And
I feel better when I'm hanging with y'all, so thank you.
And we got you tonight at McMinniman's Edgefield.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a
place.
great night, too. Yeah. And to what do we owe the honor? You guys spearheaded. Usually it's Jay.
Usually it's just Jay, but I brought the whole crew with me. So we got a brand new piano player over here. His name is Mike Blankenship. He's from Oakland, California. As you can see, he's representing the NBA champion Golden State Warriors.
There you go.
And his hat. Over here, this is Carl Young on the bass. We've been playing together for 21 years, me and Carl. Back here on the drums from Lagos, Nigeria, this is Manas Etene. And you kind of met earlier, this is Jay Boogie Bowman on the guitar from West Texas, all the way to San Francisco.
And we'll give extra ups to the drummer, too, because 6'3" stud in front of the man, and you're on a low. I'm walking around the whole back going, I can't see that drummer anywhere, man. So extra love. You know, and I had so many different ways I wanted to go with this interview, and one of the things I wanted to tell you, you know, one of those modern-day Bob Marley kind of things. What is it with your music that just moves me, moves the people, moves everybody that witnesses and experiences your music? And then I was going to say, you know, like a modern-day Marley or kind of like a musical Dalai Lama. And I'm thinking about that. Serious. That's what I was thinking. Then I go to your website 3 weeks ago. You were playing for the man's 80th birthday.
Yeah, I met the Dalai Lama. The reason I make music is I have one reason, and that's because I care about people, and I care about the planet that we live in. And so I was invited to play at the Dalai Lama's 80th birthday party. So I played this song. There was 18,000 people in this arena, and I played this song. What do we play? Once a day. I played once a day. Yeah. And I turn around and I look behind me, and first of all, the whole crowd's up singing and dancing. I turn around and there's the Dalai Lama up on his feet holding two people's hands, and he's dancing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I couldn't even take my eyes off him. I'm like, the Dalai Lama is dancing to my song. You know, it's like, it was really cool. So afterwards, we sat down, and I had told the story of how I first came to know the Dalai Lama through a Clash record. There was a song called Washington Bullets, and the lyrics said, if you ask the Dalai Lama in the hills of Tibet, how many monks did the Chinese get? And I was hearing this record at the time before Google, before computers had websites. It was like the black and green era screen, you know. And so I went to the encyclopedia, and I had looked up the Dalai Lama. And afterwards, he took my hand and he said, you know, Michael, he said, you have this great energy. When I first saw you, I saw your tattoos, and I said, bah. I saw your dreadlocks, and I said, what is this? You know, and he said, you look really hard. But then I heard your music, and it had this really bright energy to it, and people were up dancing and singing, and the room was like feeling all this great energy, and it was really exciting. And he said, but you know what? Excitement only lasts for a short amount of time. And he said, but that's why it's important to listen to the words, because the words, they go on. And he said, so now that I've seen you, I changed my first impression of you, you know. And I said, well, Dalai Lama, when I first saw you, I saw your robes, and I said, man, I really like those robes. Where can I get me some of them robes? And the Dalai Lama said, well, Michael, in order to get these robes, you have to become a monk. And the first thing you have to do is shave off your dreadlocks. And the second thing is take a vow of celibacy. I haven't done that yet.
Can we do that now?
But then he said, you have a really good heart. So he said to himself, he said, I'm a monk with a lot of restrictions, but I'm going to make you a monk with no restrictions. So that's my Wu-Tang Clan stage name now. It's like you have Method Man, RZA, Jizza, Old Dirty Bastard, and the Unrestricted Monk. So
yeah, I love it. That's great. He had to take so much away from that, and that was his 80th birthday. Okay, so if he's learning about you for the first time, who hips you to this gig? How did that come about?
There's an organization called the Center for Living Peace in Irvine, California, and I had met some people over just many years of travels, and so they invited me to come down there and play.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I watched the video, I'm still tearing up just thinking about it, because you kind of tell everybody that story about your son.
Yeah.
And it's also like...
Who's here? My son is here.
Is he here today?
Is somewhere in here.
Excellent. I heard he's 16, right?
Yeah, he's 16. Yeah.
So how come...
He might be watching backstage.
Right.
He's up there.
There he is.
He just went by the window.
That's cool. All right, so that was the Dolly's 80th birthday. There's not many people that I want to hang with on a 50th birthday, but next April down in San Francisco, can I pop in?
Yeah, come on down. Yeah.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, the new album, All the People. A little bit too inclusive for this day and age?
Well, like I said, I write music because I care about people, and I believe that a celebration of diversity is important. My mom, who is my adopted mother, Mrs. Franti. My birth mother's Irish, French, and German, and my birth father's African American, Native American, and the Frantis who adopted me are Finnish American, second generation in this country, and they were from an immigrant family. They spoke Finnish in our household, and they had 3 kids of their own, and then they adopted myself and another African American son. I have one brother who's a police officer. I have a sister who's an art teacher, another who's a real estate agent, and I have one sister who's lesbian, been with the same woman for over 30 years. So I grew up in this very diverse household, and I really believe that diversity is important for each of us as individuals, as it is in nature. Like bees go from one plant to the next, and they pollinate the plants, and so that the fruit can grow, and the fruit is shared by the different birds, and it gets spread around, and different trees and all things all live in this same biosphere, and that's what keeps the biosphere healthy and beautiful and prosperous, and it's the same thing with us as individuals. The more that we experience other cultures and get to know and not only accept but learn to celebrate other cultures, the richer our lives are, and the more successful our society is as a whole.
So is this the more enlightened and experienced Michael talking to me? What about that 21-year-old that was when they were pissed off Mike time?
Yeah. I mean, when I first started in music, I wrote lots of angry music, and I traveled around the world, and I would go to places, I'd play in prisons, I'd play, like when I played in Iraq, and in 2004 after the war started, and people would say to me, we don't want to just hear songs that are about heaviness and dark political things and political anger all the time. We want to hear songs that open up our hearts, that make us laugh, that make us cry, that make us dance and sing. So there's a time for that part of who I am to give its voice, but there's also so many other colors in the emotional spectrum that I feel are important to write about. And when you do it for a long time, you have to write about them all.
Well, those dark voices are needed too.
Yeah.
Sometimes those wake us up to what's going on.
Yeah.
I dig what you're doing. Your music, your vibe, your aura, you're making the world a better place.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Guys, you want some more? Yeah. Hey, show him you love him. It's Michael Franti and Spearhead.
Thank you. So